Good afternoon, traders, subscribers, and followers to AJ Trader 7 and Awesomecallstrading.com. I really want to welcome you aboard today's morning session, afternoon webinar. I have to tell you, it was a treat for the many members in the room this morning. I came just fired up this morning. I was so excited to get to work. I did a lot of studying yesterday, spent about 3-4 hours just reading earnings, preparing myself. But you know what? Nothing really prepares you for what we did this morning unless you've been in our room for a while. And if you haven't, the excitement you feel on your first day in the room, it's a bit overwhelming because we provide some of the most amazing opportunities for traders when they walk into this room. And you never know what's going to happen. You never know. All you know is that if you focus, you will have the ability to make money. And I'm really an advocate of really trying to just hit base hits. I'm not one that everyone's known me for, I don't know, I've been on Twitter for 6 years now. I've had the chat room for 5. People that knew me before when I was in a different chat room, they know I'm not a home run kind of guy. I'm all about consistency, and that's what makes me last in the business. I've been doing this for 15 years. I think the last great 5 to 7 years, I've been pretty profitable. I've been doing very, very well. And for me, it's simply all about just fishing for my ideas and my thoughts and what I'm looking for and why. I always really try to tell traders why we're going to make this trade, why it's being presented. And every morning when I get up, as you can see, I get analyst reports written by hundreds. There's over 4,000 analysts, but I read about 100 to 200 analysts that come out, and I read all their reports, and I just these are just things that Fly on the Wall puts out, all the upgrades, downgrades, and I go through pretty much each one of these in the morning. It's part of my routine. And just like an analyst is telling you, hey, we're going to upgrade this stock, we're going to upgrade this stock, we think this stock is worth this, we have a sell rating on this stock. What AJ does, what I love to do is and when you read these, they tell you we're discounting or we're increasing the price target of this stock because we're going to lower the price target because, and this is our reason. Okay, when you read that, then you come into Awesomecallstrading.com, and guess what you get in our room? Pretty much the same analysis report called Pre-Market Game Plan. And every morning you get a written report on each stock, on each idea that I want to trade and present to all of you. And what this does is when you look at it, and I'm going to go over maybe 5 or 6 of these ideas, these are, to me, the best ideas. There's a ton of ideas out there, but to me, this is, if you just focus on these few trades, you will make a lot of money. I've done the homework. I've done the research. I've traded these stocks for 15 years. I know how they work. And so if you trust my judgment and what I see, in return, it's money to you. And all I want you to do is make $500. If your account is 10 grand, $500. If your account is 5 grand with buying power, $100, $500. If you only have $1,000, 6 times buying power, maybe $250, $300. My job is to present you the idea. It's yours to execute based on the notes I provide. And that's how we work. We're a team in here. I'll give you the reason we're going to trade it. I'll give you the entries and the exits. I'm asking you just to execute the trade when I tell you. Okay? So I'm going to go into a few great trades that we did. What I loved this morning, the ones that hit our list were Light, EIDX, AMRN, NKTR, Bazan, American Airlines, PCG, Apple, NVIDIA, Netflix, MO, Roku, and GNC. So let's start with our number 1 pick. And again, these are all written before the market opens. And then about 5, sometimes 8 to 10 minutes before the opening bell, I'll go over each play and lay it out for them. A lot of times I trade in pre-market. As you can tell, I will tweet out on my Twitter feed. This is my Twitter feed. It is called AJ Trader 7. That's me. And every day I get just the most amazing reviews from some of the greatest traders that love to day trade in our room every day. And I do want to point out this great trade by we have a great moderator in here. His name is btraits23. Phenomenal trader. Really watches the scans for us. Small cap. And every day he comes in here and delivers. And today he did it again. So he was noticing on his scan, a lot of the chat rooms were playing a stock called RSLS. So we'll start with this one. And he noticed the halt at the 3. I did pull it up. I did mention the stock. Hey, traders, this could have a run. Dark Side contributed to that as well, and said that it was a low floater. So, all of us were working as a team to inform the traders in the room. And once I took a look at it, I really felt first, most important, I did read the news, and the PR to me was nothing but fluff. It was actually garbage. But I figured the chat rooms couldn't trade, Light and PCG and Netflix. That's not what they do. All these rooms get together and they all trade the same stock. And when you do that, the stock just basically runs. And that's exactly what it did. And shorts were hard to find at center point even for a few of the traders in our room. But some people were able to short it and some people weren't. But for me, the idea was to run the stock through 7, possibly 8 touch, and then short the stock. And it worked out just to perfection. As soon as I saw the 730, if it did pop through 750, I said it was kind of done. And B Trades also acknowledged that, and the stock just came right back down. I said it'll just probably go right down to where it came from, and like clockwork, it did. It was just this is what you call a pump and dump, pump and dump, and that's really something I'd rather trade a Light, an MO, an American Airlines, a Netflix, an Apple short, than to get a lot of the great traders in the room involved in this. But when I'm running it too in the room, when I look at something, I actually can pinpoint where it's going to pop. I had a trader in here where it was sitting at 6, and I said, hey, it's going to go to 7. So if you want to buy some. And so people were buying, and it shot to 720 right there. And I'm like, okay, get rid of it. You made a point, dump it. And that's what they did. And, literally I could just walk these kind of trades up. I can see I'm watching level 2. I'm live. And but it was a great play for a lot of people in the room, and I'm sure outside this room, everyone had their opportunity as well. Okay, so I wanted to give that acknowledgement. If you're not following B Trades, this is his Twitter feed, and he's just a phenomenal trader. I like his logo too, and I want to congratulate someone. And matter of fact, I'm doing it live. Let's give a shout out to Jason of PSK. All right, 2329. About a week ago, I mentioned he was underfollowed. I wanted him to get to 2,000 followers, and congratulations to PSK. He is officially over 2,000. To me, he's still underfollowed. He should have about 20,000 followers, but he's earning each one, and he definitely has my respect. So I told you get to 2,000, boss. So I'll probably tweet something else later on that as well. Okay? So let's get into some trades that we did. Let's start with the number 1 pick in the greatest chat room in the world, called Light. Light is a stock that was gapping down 20 points. Now, pretty much almost every analyst out there had this stock going long into earnings. But unfortunately, Apple had very disappointing numbers. And when you have Apple disappoint, Light and a lot of their what do you call them? Not say contributors, but there's a word for it. I forgot. Accessories that contribute to the chip, to Apple's contributions, whatever. I lost the word, but Light was one of them, and they got pummeled today. However, Light is a stock that I have traded for many, many years in the room. Probably 5 years I've been in the room. I've been trading Light for at least 3 or 4, and I love this stock. So this morning when the pre-market, I was chasing. Oh my goodness. When this thing pulled to 35, I just my head spun. And by the time I got in, it was probably 40, 41. And I told everyone, look for, and I really want you to look at this particular trade, how I called it out. Stop is gapping down 20. I would like to see a bounce to 45 before it fades off for the day to 38. Now, I know a lot of you are sitting here going, there is no way a day trader, a stock trader, can tell you a stock's going to where it's going to go and where it's going to come down to before the market opens. I'm sorry, that person does not exist. Well, you're listening to him and you're watching this, and you can ask everyone in Awesomecalls Trading that this was done before the market even opened. This was the #1 pick, and I actually was writing this at 6 o'clock in the morning, my time, 30 minutes before the bell even opened. So let's read it together. Gapping down 20. I want to bounce it to 45, and then I want to fade it to 38 and under. So you ready? Here we go. Here's the gap down. Here's the long. Here's the bounce, and guess where it topped? 45. That's right. Now you want to see where it is now? Oh, I'm sorry. 38. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I am sorry for being so accurate on Monday. I apologize because, usually Mondays I'm off at 10 cents, 15 cents. So I'm really sorry for being accurate on a Monday on that stock. Usually I like to be 10 cents off. Let me find something I'm 10 cents off for you, okay? Let me do that. Anyway, that was the trade. It's 5 up and about 7 down. 12 points. So, light. The next trade that we did was a little stock called EIDX. Now, you never heard of this before. Neither did I. But it doesn't matter if I never heard of it or never traded it. I consider myself one of the very best day traders in the world. And that's why I have a great chat room. Okay? So people can come around, visit, take a look what I have, and they can play these stocks along with me. And these are great ideas. This was an idea that presented itself this morning. EIDX was up on, actually just me, it was up on noise. I mean, I call it noise, but it was up, reported positive phase 2 data. Now, everyone knows in Awesomecalls Trading, there's a certain word I look for to really push the stock. But on this particular stock, the way it was written, again, positive on phase 2, that's great. But to me, #2 pick in the room, gapping up 2, I would short anything at 15, and anything that pops, I would gap fill it and cover the short and then go long. That was the call. Gap fill it. Gap fill it means I want to go to Friday's close or the previous day's close. So here's the close. Here's the short. I want to gap fill it. There's the short. You gap filled it. See how it came all the way down, and then you go long. That's it. That's the trade. You can't mess it up. You can't screw it up. You can't go wrong. That's it. Just follow the rules. If you miss the short, then go to the pot, fill the gap, and go long. And that was the trade for that one. The next trade I have to share with you. I want you to sit back and enjoy this one. This is called PCG. Now, PCG in California, you're all aware, and if you're not aware, we have wildfires, and we have a lot of, it is really terrible over here. And on Saturday, the smoke was so thick, and I live Beverly Hills, Bel Air area, it was even hard. You had to wear a mask. So many people were just walking around wearing masks. So, and it's just so sad, the amount of homes lost, and it really brings an emotional part out to see people lose their homes, But in the stock trading world, there's a couple stocks that get hit. EIX, Edison, especially in the California wildfires, because they're typically the first ones to get blamed for fires, unfortunately. But as traders, we love to trade the emotional side of it, and that's what we do. And PCG just gave us an opportunity. What I loved about this was I started in on the stock. My notes were, I believe, start picking it up in the 28, 29s, and then add on dips. I thought the stock would bounce back to 34, which I was pretty adamant, 34 to 36. But the sell-off was just, I thought 32, look for a 32 pull at the open, but when it started to pull, it was a joint effort in the room because I have to tell you, I started in around 29, 28-ish, 29, but when it yanked, all dark side, great moderator in the room, he turned around and said, "This is a falling knife, AJ." And I was like, "Oh, hell yeah. I want it to be a falling knife. Are you kidding me?" Because I still saw 34 to 36 on the rebound. And boy, it just blew right through. And I was adding at just under 27 on the stock. On this spike here, I was in it, adding decent size. And when it popped to 29, 30, oh, I cannot tell you the excitement I felt, how happiness I felt, the exuberation I felt. It was phenomenal. And to see traders follow that same exact trade and setup was just, it was so great. It was so great. And if you followed PCG, then you would know Edison was going to be falling right along. So in other words, we made really clean money on this. This was one of the funnest trades to do. And there was no hesitation on it whatsoever. The more it pulled, the more I wanted. I didn't care. It collapsed to 20, I would have kept adding. It's just one of those stocks that you know is going to rebound. And if you want to look at the 34, 36, take a look at that. 34.51, and the stock still has room to go. And if you also look at Edison, just another beautiful play. So remember that, all you moderators that own chat rooms that try to copy everything I do in here, write that down so you sound important for your next, so the next time this happens, you can sound like you know what you're talking about in front of your subs. But Edison did the same thing, pulled all the way at the open. We were more focused on PCG because we just played it with more shares. This was a little bit thinner of a stock, but this one bounced from 45 to 55, another 10-point play. Just a phenomenal 2 trades on that. The next stock that we played was a stock called American Airlines. This one, even though the Dow was down this morning and was pulling, I wanted to give the great subscribers and clients a great trade in the room. And Goldman this morning and Citi, and when you got 2 powerhouses like that, it doesn't really matter what the market's doing. I'll show you the 2 right here. Goldman this morning initiated a buy rating at $44 a price target, and then about, I don't know, a little bit earlier that morning, guess what? Citi issued a $53 rating. But the Goldman is the one that stood out for me because the Citi only raised $1, but the Goldman was one I was really I was looking for. And so that told me that, okay, I'm going to go long, just take a bunch of shares and I'll add on dips. So I started long around $36 a share, and I told everyone I was going to add on pull, any pull at the open. And as you can see from Friday's close, the stock was sitting at 36.20, so there's really no risk in the trade. And any pull at the open, just add to it or start your position. And I was looking for 37 to 38 on it today, and the stock actually paid out. If you look within the first, I think 10 minutes, 20 minutes, the stock paid out to 37. So paid a nice point and hit 37.30. And most likely, if the market was up 200 points or 100 points, this stock would already be 39. But because the market's still kind of pulling it down, that's exactly how it played out. So American Airlines was on our list of trades to play, and I will show you that. Yeah, that one was right here. American Airlines number 6. I want to show you another great stock that we wanted to play this morning. It was called Bazan. Bazan was number 5. Now, Bazan got hit because Alibaba kind of gave, unattractive numbers, believe it or not. They were actually down on one of their categories, and it pulls. Now, there's three stocks that tend to go alongside Baba. So again, you moderators that run different chat rooms that are in here listening to my webinar, and you need to feel important in your room, write this down: Bazan and Momo, and those are pretty much, they're like tied to Baba. So if Baba collapses, Bazan and Momo will get hurt. Okay, so Bazan, basically to go short, take it to 32 and under, and then bounce it 2 to 3 points. That was it. That was the call. I saw 32 and under, and start building position and go along and bounce it. So I want you to see how that looked at that one on that stock. So I think you'll be very impressed with that one. So let's go to Bazan, B-Z-U-N. And here's the gap down. And we wanted to short in pre-market and also short the open and add on any pops. I did make it clear if it popped to 36, just don't even worry about it. Just laugh at it. Consider it a Christmas gift. Because a lot of people couldn't short pre-market for whatever reason, their platforms. But for us, we were already starting to short and then add on any pop and just look for a 32 and under. And if you really look, the stock hit in the first probably 10 minutes of trade, 20 minutes of trading, it hit 32.50. Actually hit 32, which is what I was looking for. See the 32 right there? And then bounce it. That was the first bounce, and then the second bounce came 32 and under, and it bounced again. And if you follow Momo, you'll see that it did the same thing. You could have done Momo, or you could have done Bazan. I like Bazan. More range. To me, it's funner. I enjoy trading it, and it's really pretty predictable. So this one, you could have done the same thing, 32.70 to 30, and then bounce it. So didn't really need to even think about that one. There's another fun trade I did today. It was really fun. It was called Mo. Now, Mo, I want you to kind of look at this. I just explained this in the chat room before I did the webinar. And Mo was getting hurt because the Wall Street Journal did an article that that the FDA is planning on possibly, let me show you, let me see where it is for you. And it was through, okay, it was right here. I'm going to try to find it. Apple faces better risk. Right here. Here was the article. Now, in this article, there was a, I'm not going to share with you, because I know a lot of you chat rooms are in here right now, and you really need me to educate you how to trade stocks in your room. So I get it. But there was a key word that I presented to the subscribers in our great room, so I'm going to keep that word out of it. But there was a key word. If you want to ask one of the subscribers, hey, how did he know that? Anyway, in this whole article, before it even began, there was a key word that made me want to go long the stock at the open. And basically the call was in the room, long the stock and gap fill it. And I'll show you the notes that we took on it. And it's right here. Mo, gapping down on Wall Street Urkel with long the stock. Anything around the 60 area, watch it go to 62 and more at the open. Don't ask questions. Don't add if or but. It is going to 62. So what you do now is you simply come in here to the greatest chat room in the world. You put up Mo. Here's the gap down. There's where it closed, and AJ wanted to go back up there. So AJ told the entire chat room, just go long the stock. Don't panic. Don't say anything. Just relax. Take 300 shares, 18,000 buying power, and go up 2 points. And you'll be done for the day. It's that simple. Don't sit here and look, oh, you make it sound so simple. Anybody could have done that. It's always after the fact. You need to stop. You need to stop. You need to stop. You need to stop making excuses. Okay? It's simple for a guy like me to throw it out and say, just go long the stock to 62, 63. Yeah, it is easy for me because that's what you need to do because of the key word that was in the headline. And if you don't know the key word, I'm not going to teach you unless you're in the room. So I think that's worth $25 just for a day pass. Can you tell me the keyword? Anyway, and there's the trade. $60 to 63 bucks. 100 shares, 300 bucks. 200 shares, 600 bucks. 300 shares, 900 bucks. 400 shares, 1200 bucks. 500 shares, 1500 bucks. You can make as much as you want in this room if you take the trade. And so therein lies 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ideas that were given in this great chat room this morning. Now, we traded Apple in the option room and in here. NVIDIA, we shorted. Netflix, we shorted. We traded Roku. I mean, if you didn't have Roku below 41 on your radar, you must be watching it instead of trading it. Because you could have had Roku for your trade today would have paid for a lifetime subscription. It was so simple. The pull at the open, 41 and under, long it. Excuse me. It was just like, next. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's webinar. It was really just a great Monday to come to work. And I can't thank enough. I just want to thank the great moderators because, the room is, it's nice to have my voice and to hear me and to help you and to guide you, which is what I do. But you know what? We have some really serious talent in here. And I'm very thankful for the people that are in this great room. So in the chat room, we have Janny Moore, greatest short seller in the world, in my opinion. Raphael, Bio. Somebody just flipped me over. Sorry. Dave the Trader. We always have to do that because Dave the Trader deserves that. And he is the most amazing alert person in the world. And he's been here over a year and a half. And he gives actionable alerts that are just incredible. Fire Trader, which is Brad Norman, and of course, B Trades. And in the option room, as you can tell, you had Levi, Jamie, Christian, $10. And Darkside actually shares his time between both rooms, and he usually is on the mic when I'm with Janny when I'm on break. Because I do have to rest my brain. You know what I mean? So, other than that, it was really a fun day. And my trading was actually finished probably the first 15 minutes of the open. I was done. So I hope you enjoyed today's recap. Dow is down 400 points, but you can't feel it in here. I wish the Dow would go down 900. It'd be like Boeing, Adobe, Netflix, NVIDIA, Apple, you could tell my voice and in my energy. I love what we do. And I hope that this webinar helped you today. And I look forward to trading with you tomorrow. Don't forget to follow my feed. Click on any link. Awesomecallstrading.com. And rock and roll, and you're in. And that's it. So thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.